morning, campers. Welcome to Honeywell, Missouri. Had to think about it for a second. Honeywell, Missouri. We're on US Highway 36, just west of Hannibal. Sun has just dipped below the horizon. We are headed west once again. It's the way I like it. I'm not an East Coast kind of person. I'll take a good load out of here and then take a good iffy load back, and I'm happy. It takes a certain amount of money to get me to come out here, and a lot less to get me to go back. But yeah, we're headed west again, and we are in northern Missouri. This is probably my favorite road in Missouri. This is US Highway 36, like I said. It's kind of an unknown, over-engineered gem. Yeah, it's prime. That flatbed that was going the other way, they're like the only flatbeds with side skirts. So that's how you can kind of see them coming. But this road is like practically unknown. It feels like all the GPSs avoid it for no reason whatsoever. It's just because it's got a 65 mile an hour speed limit, but I'm governed at 65, so I might as well go this way if it's shorter, right? Because I'm not going to get there any faster by going on the faster road. Besides, I drive 62 anyway, so it's not like we even do 65. But this road is great. I love it. It's I-72 in Illinois. It starts in Champaign and goes west to, or I guess it technically starts in Hannibal and goes east to Champaign. But it's, if you're going west, it starts in, you jump on I-72 in Champaign from 7457? Yeah, 57. And then you take 72 over to Springfield. You hop on 55 for a few miles, and then 72 splits off again, and that heads to the state line with Hannibal. And then I-72 continues like 2 miles into Missouri, and then it turns into US 36. Because US 36, even though it looks like an interstate, you can actually see right here, we're just coming up on one, it's got crossovers and turnoffs and driveways and stuff. So the GPS is kind of avoided because it's not an interstate in their books, but it's practically an interstate. It might as well be. And there's like no traffic out here. We haven't been passed by anybody the whole time I've been recording yet, aside from oncoming traffic, and you can see that's not many people. I love this road. It's so nice, and it cuts through the northern part of Missouri. It's not the flattest road you can take, but it's flatter than Interstate 70. It's got a lot less traffic than Interstate 70. It's got no westbound way stations. So if you're going west, go this way because you don't waste time in scales. Also, if you're overweight and you're trying to avoid way stations, good idea. But I don't run overweight myself, so this is just a time saver for me to go through this road because it just means I don't have to wait in line in the scale if they so desire to pull me in. There is one scale going eastbound on this road near St. Joseph, but there's none going westbound for some reason. Not sure why. Doesn't really make sense. I guess it's not enough traffic to justify having a scale up here. They've kind of got a spot where you can tell there used to be one across the street from the, on the opposite side of the road from the eastbound scale, but it's just a parking area now. There's no actual way station there. So maybe they'll use that or something with a set of portable scales during like CVSA brake check week, which is now. Or just like the DOT inspection blitz in June. So maybe that's what they do. I don't know. But I love this road. I love it. I love it so much. It's like the only part of Missouri I can stand. Like, Hannibal's great, aside from the red light cameras. Ignore my cameras panicking because the internet up here is not reliable. It's my dashboard camera is connected to my Wi-Fi in the truck, and my Wi-Fi is using cell signals, so it goes in and out as you drive because there's lots of places in the country where there's no reliable cell signal. So my camera will panic every time it loses internet connection. But it's fine. Just ignore the polite British voice in my camera. Or maybe it's Australian? I think it might be Australian. My old camera was British. I think this one is Australian. because I apparently don't buy American cameras for some reason. Yeah, we're almost to Shelby, huh? It's just a beautiful area. Lots of farmland up here. You actually do have to be careful during harvest season because you get harvesters just driving down the road. It's like our field is on this road. We're driving on this road. Unlike interstates, they don't prohibit farm traffic on US 36. So you do have to watch out for that. You can come across some pretty slow-moving vehicles on this road. But currently, it is apparently sell your grain season because I've been seeing just dozens and dozens of grain haulers all day, but no harvesters. Weirdly, there were a couple harvesters like out in some fields on the east side of Hannibal, but I haven't seen any on the road lately. I guess it's not harvest season. I guess it's that perfect amount of time after harvest season that all the soybeans are dry and ready to be sold. But it is lovely. I love this road. There's a nice big truck stop right smack dab in the middle of the state in Bevier, Missouri. That's about 30 miles ahead of us. It's not really in the middle. It's kind of a little bit to the right side to the east side of the state, the right side, the east side of the state, Bevier. But there are also truck stops in Cameron where this road crosses I-35, and then there's more truck stops in St. Joseph where this road crosses Interstates 29 and 229. So lots of places to park. Okay, not lots, but they've got lots of parking between them. So as long as you're not running your clock out in the middle of nowhere, you're pretty good here. And we've still got like 4 hours and 15 minutes on our clock, so it's fine. It's fine. We'll be across this state in no time. I really hope they've got parking at I really hope they have parking at the at those truck stops in Percival by now. I might need them. Probably just gonna end up spending the night at the scale, the way station near there again. We do that a lot. There's also a lovely little Love's just up the road. A lovely Love's, where I park frequently. They've got parking like all night. It's still pretty new. Bum, 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 bum. I just love this sunset. It's so nice. We just drove through a massive downpour, by the way. That's why my hood is so shiny right now. We just got a free truck wash, basically, which power washed all the bugs off my windshield. Couldn't do anything about the spot directly in front of the camera, apparently, but, you know, that's how it goes. Sorry. Eventually I will find somewhere else for the camera, because I think some of those are just like scratches that I can't get out. So we might need to just move the camera. Ignore the roadkill. But yeah, we are headed west again. I'm excited. I'm going through and uploading videos from last week. I realized I recorded like 4 different things on September 11th. Like just lots of different sets of footage, all from the same day. Whoops. And I couldn't get the 2 bits of video that were literally filmed back to back, stitched together, so I just uploaded them separately. So we're actually like 7 days behind on videos right now. We're back to the 7-day lead time, which is where I like it. I like the 7-day lead time because then you guys see the videos of places a week after I've been there, and I can go pretty far in a week, so I don't have to worry about, you know, people tracking me down and whatnot. I just got to be careful not to get far behind, because then we wind up skipping stuff, and people don't like it when you skip stuff, and it's just like, eh. But yeah, no, we're loaded, and we're far enough behind on videos that I can tell you we are loaded with frozen pizza going to Salt Lake City. Turn your lights on, dude. Not you, the other guy. One of them flashed his eye beams at me. It's like, not you. They'll figure it out. Have I mentioned yet today that I love this job? Yeah, I don't think I have. I think I mentioned it yesterday, though. That used to be a running gag with me and my trainer, my late trainer. Is every day I would find some excuse to say that to her. Which I think my enthusiasm kind of like rekindled her enjoyment of the job as well. So that was kind of a cool cool situation. I find myself thinking about her a lot lately. I miss her. She was cool. Leah was awesome. I used to call her fairly regularly. Not as much as I should have, but... but still, we are headed west. I've repeated that like 6 times in this one video. And it's still true. We are still headed west. Ignore the rumble strip. Very aggressive rumble strips in Missouri. They're right on the white line. You get close to that thing and you get the rumble. Which is probably how it should be, honestly. Because I feel like it keeps me off the rumble strip a lot more. Just because it's so aggressive. This is, so this road, US 36, is also part of a highway called the Chicago-Kansas City Expressway. So at some point, somebody realized that Chicago and Kansas City were both doing quite a lot of business with each other, but they didn't have an interstate connection. So they started, both Missouri and Illinois started pumping money into building a decent trucking route between the two cities. So from Chicago, it's you can keep track of which road is the Chicago-Kansas City Expressway by the route number 110, which is shared across all the roads and across the state border. So it's Missouri 110 and Illinois 110. So it's like Interstate 88 west out of Chicago, and then you get to the Quad Cities, and it drops south on 74. It's on 80 for a hot minute. Not a hot minute, a short minute, a very short minute. I think hot minute's a long time, isn't it? I don't know. Idioms. It's on 80 for a very brief amount of time after 88 meets 80. But then you go south, east, I guess, on 74. And it splits off from 74, zigzags its way through western Illinois until it gets to Quincy, Illinois, in which case it jumps onto Interstate 172. 172 takes you down to I-72. You got real close in front of me there, buddy. You're only going 3 miles an hour faster. Are you about to take this exit? You are about to, you jerk. I saw that coming. I hate it when people do that. Four-wheelers. But yeah, so it zigzags across Illinois, meets up with I-172. I-172 takes it to I-72. I-72 takes the 110 across the river into Hannibal, and then the 110 follows US 36. So this is the CKC, the Chicago-Kansas City Expressway, and this will go all the way to where US 36 meets with Interstate 35, and then the CKC overlaps with I-35 for the rest of the way into Kansas City. It's a lovely little road. It's spurred some investment in a couple of the cities along the way. They're building freeway bypasses for a couple of the towns that the CKC goes through now, so you don't have to drive through downtown to get through them. So that's nice. Eventually, I think it will just be a freeway the entire way. At some point. It's being future-proofed kind of nicely. Like, this is already expanded to 4-lane divided highway. And they're adding freeway loops around some of the cities in Illinois. They really need to do something about the interchange with 35, but it's not super urgent. They've been slowly upgrading it 2 or 3 times over the course of his ABS lights flashing on and off. They've been slowly upgrading that interchange over the course of my driving career. Originally, it was just a couple of stop signs at the tops of the ramps, and traffic from 35 just had to turn on to 36 with no assistance whatsoever. Then they kind of upgraded it to like a kind of weird stretched roundabout sort of thing, where traffic turning onto or off of the interstate had higher priority than other traffic, and now they finally just put stoplights on it, which is nice. It's a little annoying if you're just passing through on 36, because it's 2 extra stoplights on this road where there used to only be 1. Now there are 3, but it's fine. It's fine. And as we discovered with when Highway 2 was out of commission, oh, look at that shadow just stretching across the sky. That's kind of cool. As the sun's dropping below the horizon, there must be a tall cloud somewhere somewhere in the distance, and we're just seeing the shadow projected across the sky. That's very neat. Yeah, the road does extend a bit into Kansas. We found that out when Highway 2 was flooded, because we were staying on 36 all the way to US 75 in Kansas, and it was, you know, kind of limited access freeway for most of that way. Not freeway, but limited access 2-lane undivided highway. I think that guy knows his reefer's blinking like crazy. Stop paying attention to other people's trucks. It's fine. I imagine that truck is somewhat like mine, where it's got, like, yeah, sure, they've added all these warning lights on the front of the trailer, but now, as trucks get more aerodynamic, now there's fins and stuff that block us from seeing the warning lights on the front of the trailer. Like, I used to be able, my first truck, I could see, my first Cascadia, I could actually physically see the warning lights on the front of my trailer. So if the reefer lost temp, or if one of my tires started going down, I could actually see the warning light come on in my mirror. In this new truck, I cannot. It's got the aero fairings stick out the full width of the trailer and block my view of that front corner. But it saves me fuel, so I'm okay with it. It's all wired into the Qualcomm anyway, so it'll send me messages when stuff goes bad. It's just, you know, you know something's gone wrong a lot sooner if you can see the light. So, you know, it's one of those things where every time I take a right turn, I glance in that mirror real quick just to check both those lights and make sure they're still good. This is the only chance I get now. Well, we've rambled over a nice number of topics on this particular video, and we've still got this beautiful sunset that's almost over. My headlights have kind of taken over lighting of the video, and I think we've picked up another bug in front of the camera at some point while we've been driving. Certainly got another few on my window in front of me. But thank you guys so much for watching. I really do appreciate it. There are like a couple hundred folks that actually watch this stuff. even as lame as I am, some people still watch it. I like it. I like sharing this. I love this job. I like being able to share this with some folks, at least. I know, the cloud's disconnected. Poor cloud. The camera is panicking again. You can find me on social media at ElioDare on the Twitters. Twitter's the best place to get a hold of me. I check it literally every time I park the truck, so that is a great place to say hi. And you can also, you know, just stop in the comments. I read all those too. Comments a great place to get something in front of my eyeballs. But you can also find me on Xbox Live, Steam, and Nintendo Switch, all under the name ElioDare. And Steam is a cool place to say hello now, because I wind up playing the truck sim games and the multiplayer mods more often than I used to. So if you do friend me on Steam, you'll see me as a little green dot. If you happen to cross me in one of those games on one of the nights where I've got internet and I'm just playing the game in my truck, you'll probably see my girlfriend following along behind me or up ahead of me, so that you can stop and say hi, maybe join us on a load or two. I don't know. It'll be cool. It's cool. I like that game. I really do like that game. But thank you guys so much for watching, and have a great day. Bye! Bye! Look at all the pretty lights on that bullhog.